What's up guys, Apocalyptyc here, and in today's video we'll be going over the top 10 tips and tricks to help you improve in Hyperscape. If the video does help you out, please leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first tip is going to be, there's going to be enemies coming in from each side of the map when you first spawn into the game. So as you can see on my gameplay, there's people coming in from T-loop, and that's where I'm trying to land, and that's because people spawn in each corner of the map. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to land somewhere far because no one's going to be there, then you're wrong, because people spawn in each corner. Also, when you land in, you can temporarily see where people land. Like as soon as you land, you see a red light in the sky. If you see a red light, that's where somebody is, or is just landing. And if you see a blue light, that's where you're just landing, or your teammate is landing. So as soon as you get down, you want to look straight away to make sure if there's anyone near you or not. On to the next tip, that's going to be hip firing. Now I know aiming is very important, and you know, with a Ripper, if you have a good aim from distance, it absolutely wrecks. But hip firing is also just as good as aiming in this game. In some cases it's better. There are weapons, you know, like Hex Fire, Harpy, Riot 1, those weapons are absolutely insane for hip firing, especially medium to close range. Like obviously if you're far range, then you want to aim down sight, but when you're at a certain range, you need to know when, you know, to hip fire and when not to. But with Riot 1, you can hip fire from any range. That gun's absolutely insane, so I'll definitely recommend hip firing. On to the next tip, we have the meta of the game. Now you always want to be up to date with what the meta of the game is, so what's the best weapon, what's everyone using, and then once you know what the best things are, like you want to know what the best DPS is, what the best time to kill is, and then you know you want to adapt and learn how to use those weapons, because that'll make you a better player. You know, because playing with guns that no one uses, and they don't use them for a reason because they ain't good. So you don't want to be using stuff like a Dragonfly. That's, you know, you're not going to improve using that gun because it's not a good gun. You're going to be using weapons like the Riot 1, the Hexfire, the Ripper, the Harpy. Those are like meta weapons. Those are like top tier weapons. So you know, you want to get familiar with the best weapons in the game, and then you want to be using them, adapt to them, and then obviously there is always going to be nerfs and changes. So if weapons get buffed, you know, and they become the new meta, then you want to adapt and you want to use them. But for now, I would say that's the meta is definitely the Hexfire and Riot 1 are definitely the best weapons in the game, and also Harpy. Ripper's good, but it's not as good as those three, I don't think. So yeah, I'd use those and get used to those, especially on console. That's what everyone's be using a lot. But yeah, there's just half of the guns there's just no need to use, like Skybreaker. I don't think no one's, you know, that's not doing anyone anything. So learn what the weapons are, you know, get familiar with them, and then, you know, get good with those weapons. The next tip that will help you improve drastically is settings. You want to figure out your settings, you know, you want to find out what the right sensitivity is, the right ADS zoom. I do have a video on my channel of the best Hyperscape settings in my opinion, or what I've been using recently. You know, if I find better settings, I'll definitely update you guys, but for now, yeah, just watch that video if you want help, you know, figure out what you think you should need to use. But yeah, definitely we'll look into settings, because that, you know, when you first get the game, you know, those settings that you start off with, I don't think they're very good. The sensitivity is way too high, you know, aiming's extremely difficult, especially on console. You know, have keyboard and mouse, you can't just like lock onto people, you know, with the mouse. So definitely look at your settings, or look at videos to improve your settings, and that will improve your gameplay. You know, getting good accuracy because you have a certain setting is crucial, so settings is definitely a big part. The next tip is to have the right hacks. Just like there's a merit in guns, there's also a merit in hacks. You know, there's a lot of hacks in this game. I think there's like maybe 12 to 15, but you know, there's only so many good ones. So find out what hacks are good. I would suggest using something that is going to help you heal or stay alive, and something that can help you get away or push. So I usually run Slam and Heal. I think they're the best in my opinion. But you know, you could replace Slam with Shockwave, with Teleport. You could replace Heal with Armor. I don't really use Armor that much though, or Invisibility, or one of those ones. But I wouldn't suggest using things like Magnet or Ball. I know people use the Ball, but like I find it really easy to shoot people out of the sky with Ball. That it's such an easy target, and then as soon as they come back into you know, their physical form, it's just so easy to kill them. So I wouldn't recommend using it personally, but if you like it, then use it. But yeah, I would definitely learn what the best things to use, best hacks are to use, because there's definitely good hacks that are way better than others, and ones that you don't really need that much. So yeah, find out what's good and use them. The next tip's gonna be communication. I think communication is really important if you're playing with a team. You want to be pinging everything you can. Obviously, you don't want to be overwhelming and spam like too much, but you know, if your teammate needs something, ping it for them. You know, in the bottom left side of the screen, you know, you can see your teammates' health. You can see what guns they're using, what abilities they have. Use that to your advantage. If you see a gun that you're not using but someone else has already, ping it so they can upgrade their weapon. You know, pings an ability that they need or they want to, you know, upgrade. So definitely communicate with them, and that's if you're just playing with random. Obviously, if you're playing in a team or like a party chat or something, you know, you want to be talking to them verbally. So communicating is always key to winning, you know, team-based games. It's always going to help you improve playing as a team. So if playing, but if you're playing as obviously if you're playing by yourself, this doesn't apply because you know you're playing by yourself. But if you're playing by yourself in randoms or playing with like actual squad mates, then definitely communicate. Always be shouting out or marking or pinging where someone is, or you know, when there's an ability or a gun or like a revive spot. You know, always be talking to each other because that's gonna help you put like you as a team grow as well. So definitely communicate. The next tip is going to be movement. You always want to improve your movement. Movement in this game is very important, especially because of how fast paced the game is. So you never want to be standing still because it's very easy to get headshotted or just eliminated straight away. So you need to master your movement and how you use it. Like getting across the map, you know, you always want to be sliding, jumping. You never just want to be walking because you're going to be able to get picked off very easily. Especially if someone, you know, has a certain gun like a Ripper or Riot one, but does a lot of damage. You can't be affording to be taking those hits, so you definitely want to be, you know, improving your movement. Even if you just go in training and just practice your sliding and your jumping, movement's very important, especially when you're in a battle. You know, if you move left to right, if you strafe out in a battle, it'll be hard for them to shoot you, hard for them to hit you. That's what you want. You want it to be hard for them to hit you, but then you can also hit them while it's hard for them to hit you. That's why strafing is very important as well, generally, in most Battle Royale games, because that way you have the advantage, especially if they're just standing still trying to shoot you, which most of the time won't be the case, but there is some cases when that is the case. So yeah, try and learn movement, get better at it, get better at strafing, get better at sliding, and at jumping, and at slide jumping, to get you around the map faster. So always be improving on your movement. The next tip is very simple, but a lot of people forget to do it. I did forget when I first started playing the game, but it's to fully upgrade your weapons and your abilities. You need to remember, when you get your loadout you want, you always go for like the max upgrade. So always be looking for a higher version. If you find someone, if you're like in a battle with someone, you know they have the same weapon as you, you know, try and be like, I want to kill them and get their upgrade or their ability. Because they might have a better upgrade than you or free maxed out one, and that's going to help you in the long run and end game. So definitely always try to upgrade your abilities and your weapons. Even if you get the loadout you want straight away, you know, whatever gun weapons you have, you still would rather have, you know, an upgraded gun with extra damage, extra cooldown speed, you know, more ammo in the size. You still want all that stuff. So even let's say you have a Komodo and a Skybreaker, yeah, those weapons ain't necessarily good. Would you rather base level ones of those or maxed out one of those? You know, it's still better than nothing. So I would definitely, you know, even if it's a bad weapon, still upgrade it if you see another version and you have that in your hand, because that's still going to help you in the long run. If you're fighting someone, you never know, the extra clip or extra damage could save your life. So definitely always go for fully upgraded weapons, but obviously you want to get your loadout first. Well, not necessarily first, but yeah, you want to get your loadout and then you want to go for upgrading it. The next tip can be used for pretty much any game, any battle royale game, but it's to get high ground. Always have high ground. You know, as you know, high ground is victor. So whenever you have high ground, it's gonna be easier for you to shoot their head. It's gonna be hard for them to see you, and it's just overall better. So try get high ground in any situation you can. It'll be easier for you to kill them. Obviously, you can still kill people that are higher than you, you know, or vice versa. You can still die if you have high ground. So it means, you know, it's not invincible, but it's gonna give you a huge advantage in terms of, you know, killing someone, especially if you're one-on-one. If there's a team, then, you know, it's just you by yourself on high ground, you're gonna probably get destroyed. But Generally, as a group, you want to get high ground in any situation you can. It's gonna be beneficial for everyone, and it's gonna be, you're gonna get more damage done if you can get those headshots off, which will be easier to do if you have high ground. So high ground always wins, not always, but always. So yeah, go for high ground whenever you can, because it's always gonna help you out in the long run. And the last tip is going to be something very simple. It's just reviving your teammate. When you're reviving your teammate, always be moving around, so you don't be standing still. So it's going to be hard for them to hit you when you're reviving them, and more than likely you're going to be able to pull it off easier while doing that. So yeah, just for a little tip I would show you guys. So that's going to be it for the video. If you did like the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, I'm going to be doing some Apex Season 6 tomorrow. And also, I'm going to be continuing making Hyperscape videos, but I'm also going to be making Apex because I still love Apex, and Season 6 is tomorrow, so I am going to be destroying that game also. So yeah, if you like Apex, then subscribe. If you like Hyperscape, then subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.